The era of the rugged but unrefined midsize truck is officially over because the completely redesigned 2024 Toyota Tacoma proves that you can conquer a Rocky Mountain trail while still enjoying precise feedback through the steering wheel. Looking at the engineering blueprint of this new generation, it is clear that Toyota wanted to completely overhaul the driving dynamics by moving this iconic pickup to the TNGA-F global truck platform, which immediately translates to a much more rigid chassis and a fundamentally different approach to cornering and high-speed stability. Under the hood, the standard high-output version relies on a 2.4-liter turbocharged inline four-cylinder engine, delivering 278 horsepower and an impressive 430 Newton-meters of torque. All of this power is managed by a newly developed 8-speed automatic transmission that sends the truck from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in approximately 7.5 seconds, which is highly competitive for a body-on-frame vehicle of this size. When examining the cargo capabilities, paper specifications reveal a maximum payload capacity of up to 1,709 pounds, depending on the configuration, alongside varying bed lengths like the standard 5-foot box, which offers ample volume for both heavy work gear and bulky overlanding equipment. For buyers looking for even more performance, technical data highlights the available hybrid powertrain, which pairs the same 2.4-liter turbo with an integrated electric motor to generate a massive 326 horsepower and 630 Newton-meters of torque, making the acceleration feel incredibly robust. But the primary focus for this generation is undeniably the steering feel and handling, because the manufacturer finally replaced the old and heavy hydraulic steering setup with a modern electric power steering system. Based on technical evaluations and expert consensus, this new electric rack provides a significantly tighter turning radius and substantially better on-center feel at highway speeds, meaning the constant minor steering corrections that plagued the previous generation are practically eliminated. Furthermore, user feedback suggests that the steering weight adapts seamlessly depending on the driving mode, offering a light and effortless sensation in tight parking lots, while firming up nicely to provide reassuring resistance and communication when navigating winding back roads. Analyzing the suspension architecture reveals another massive upgrade for the handling profile, since most trim levels have abandoned the traditional rear leaf springs in favor of a completely new multi-link rear suspension setup featuring coil springs. Class standards dictate that solid axles with leaf springs inherently compromise ride quality, but this new coil spring design drastically reduces bed jitter and rear-end bounce over uneven pavement, making the truck feel remarkably planted and stable even when cornering aggressively with a completely empty bed. Furthermore, looking at the different trim packages reveals that the manufacturer specifically tuned the handling characteristics to match distinct buyer needs. For instance, factory data shows that the TRD Sport model features sport-tuned shock absorbers specifically calibrated for better on-road agility and sharper turn in response, while the TRD Off-Road trim utilizes Bilstein monotube remote reservoir shocks that prioritize extensive wheel travel and severe impact absorption over harsh terrain. When evaluating the advanced off-road handling metrics, specifically on models equipped with the electronic stabilizer bar disconnect mechanism, it is apparent that the truck can achieve maximum suspension articulation over extreme obstacles without sacrificing any on-road handling integrity once the sway bar is digitally reconnected. Braking performance, which is deeply connected to overall handling confidence, has also seen a major upgrade with the introduction of four-wheel disc brakes across all trim levels, effectively replacing the antiquated rear drum brakes. Engineering documents indicate that this change not only reduces stopping distances, but also provides a much more linear and predictable brake pedal feel, which is absolutely crucial when navigating steep off-road descents or towing heavy loads. While I have not personally pushed this truck to its limits on a track or dirt trail, analyzing the factory data and reviewing independent dynamic tests clearly shows a night and day difference in how the vehicle manages weight transfer and body roll during sudden directional changes. The wider track and optimized suspension geometry mean that the front end dives much less under hard braking, and the entire chassis responds to steering inputs with a level of eagerness that is frankly surprising for a mid-size pickup truck. In summary, the 2024 Toyota Tacoma successfully bridges the gap between legendary off-road durability and modern daily driving comfort by combining a potent turbocharged powertrain with a sophisticated electric steering rack and a refined coil spring rear suspension setup, creating a highly capable machine that is genuinely rewarding to pilot in absolutely any environment.